I'm Brandon with Dwell Mortgage.
And I'm Jeff with John L. Scott.
We hope you guys are doing well. One of the things that's been on my mind and on Jeff's mind a lot recently is the market currently as it sits in real estate, coupled with the fact that we've just been through a really interesting time in our history with COVID.
Yep.
And a lot of financial struggle going on out there in the world and in the economy. So we've been kind of bouncing some ideas off one another, and we've kind of come to the realization that there's a lot to talk about. There's potentially a lot of questions out there that need to be answered, right?
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that we noticed this year is people went through financial struggle. And that's very, very unfortunate, and it's kind of come with the territory with the coronavirus and all that entails. But we wanted to talk specifically today about how that impacts your home.
Yeah.
Your real estate, right?
Exactly.
The home you own. It might be the one you live in. It might be the one that you use as an investment property. But across the board, people have noticed this year especially that the economy plays a huge role in real estate, right?
Definitely. I think many people are surprised that their home values have increased quite a bit.
We might have to touch on that,
Yeah.
talk about that a little bit. So on the mortgage side, one of the things that I was asked a lot this year early on, especially during April, May, and June, was how does a forbearance affect me, right? Mm-hmm. And that's a great question because a lot of people don't understand exactly what a forbearance is, and it's hard to get quality information. And the fact of the matter is there's so many different types of forbearances available out there that the answer is going to depend on what type of forbearance the person ends up using. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. One of the things I wanted to ask you, Jeff, though, is paint the picture for us right now of what the real estate market's like.
Right now,
Is it crazy?
Yes, still is. It's very much still a seller's market right now.
Okay.
Pulled numbers this morning. We are in Snohomish County, less than half a month's worth of inventory right now.
So what does that mean?
That means if all the houses on the market right now, nobody else came onto the market, we'd sell out of every home available in less than 2 weeks. Yeah.
So not a lot there.
No, not a lot. We've been in the seller's market for quite a while, so we're a little bit used to that in Washington. But, in a normal, healthy market, we like to see 3 to 5 months worth of inventory.
So we're not close. We're unhealthy.
Not even, very.
Very unhealthy.
Very.
So what does that mean if I'm a person who's thinking about selling my house? Is it a good thing?
Very good thing, yeah.
Why?
You'll see, obviously can't guarantee anything, but a lot of people are seeing multiple offer situations, or their home goes under contract in a weekend, crazy situations like that in a normal market you wouldn't see. But since there's so little supply right now, you see a lot of that.
Got it. So there's buyers out there demanding real estate.
Oh, very much so, yeah.
Just not a ton of sellers offering the asset for sale, right?
Exactly.
So what happens when in the marketplace when you have an excess of demand?
Prices go up.
So prices are increasing.
Yep.
Okay. So if I'm a home owner and I'm thinking about selling my home versus maybe not making my mortgage payment, maybe I'm in a financial position right now where I've been cut back in the hours that I can work at my job, or I've experienced a job loss or something to that effect, right?
Exactly.
And now I have to decide, how am I going to make my mortgage payment for the next 6 months to a year?
Which is not a fun situation.
It's a tough one, right? Yeah. I have another option, is what you're suggesting, and I'm in a spot as a seller where I could potentially gain from selling my home, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, and I read a statistic recently that 80% of people currently in forbearance right now have 20% or more equity.
Okay.
So unlike 2008, which everybody loves to refer to, people have a lot of equity in their home, and they could potentially sell and avoid a foreclosure and take that money and either rent a house until they can get back on their feet and their job picks back up, or maybe downsize to a condo or something.
Makes sense. So what you're saying is it may be a good option to sell your home. I mean, one of the things that Jeff and I always talk about is everybody's specific situation is very specific to them.
Exactly.
Right? And it doesn't necessarily work to have a blanket solution that works for everybody. So it's always important to look at the pros and look at the cons and see what opportunities you have and make a decision that's educated, right?
Exactly.
So it might make sense if you're in that position to take a look at what it would look like on paper to sell your home. And Jeff would be more than happy to walk you through that. There's a lot of ins and outs. There's costs to selling your home. I mean, we're just going to be transparent about it, right? Like,
there's definitely some costs.
It's not free to sell your home, so you need to weigh those against the benefits of selling your home. But what we're hearing Jeff say, I think, is you're in a position right now that's unique in the fact that we have 15 days of supply in the market.
Exactly.
You could take advantage of the buyer demand there and maybe sell your house for more today than you can 6 months or a year from now, or 2 years from now. I mean, who knows what the market's going to be like then, right?
And with interest rates so low, I mean, buyers are going to be around for quite a while.
Yeah,
too.
we're hoping.
Yeah,
we're hoping. I mean, we do know that the millennials are coming out in the droves.
They are.
To buy homes.
I'm in that segment right there.
They're finally wisening up to the reality of life and making their first home purchase. Exactly. So we're excited for that. So that's one option, and you can always get more information about selling your home from Jeff.